to see about computer network. That is first unit, introduction part of network. Let me introduce I am Professor Smita Mangesh Zinarkar. Let's begin with our section. Computer networks are nothing but collection of interconnected computers. So the two computers are said to be interconnected if they are capable of sharing as well as exchanging the information. So more than one computer, if we are connecting, they are sharing the resource, they are exchanging the information, that is called as a computer network. Next part, needs of computer network. Basically, why we required sharing of resources means to make all the program, data as well as peripheral devices available to anyone on the network. So that's why basically we are connecting computer with each other. Next, that is a reliability. Reliability means to keep the copies of file on the two or more different machines. So if one of them is unavailable due to some hardware crash or any other problem, so easily we can copy from another device. Next option, that is a cost factor. Many resources we are sharing, so automatically cost get reduced. So that's why basically we require computer networking. Now let's move towards the application of computer network, that is sharing of data, services and resources such as your printer, scanner. Next, access to the remote database and communication facility. So these all are the application of computer network. Now let's move towards the elementary terminology of network. Nodes. Nodes are nothing but workstations. The term nodes refers to computers that are attached to the network, are seeking to share the resource. Server. Server is nothing but the main machine and through which other machines are connected. So this is a facility provided for sharing the data, downloading certain information, any software, hardware, such kind of things, such kind of resources on that particular network. Next option, that is a bandwidth. This refers to the volume of information per unit of time that the transmission medium. For example, your internet connection can be handled. For digital devices, basically, it is usually expressed in a bits per second, that is BPS or bytes per second. And for analog device, bandwidth is expressed in the cycles per second, that is hertz. So this is a terminology. Now cloud computing. Cloud computing means storing and accessing the data as well as program over the internet. Instead of your computer hardware device, cloud is a just metaphor of the internet. Now benefits of cloud computing. It increases the security at much lesser cost as well as it is easy to maintain also. Now let's move towards the certain characteristics of cloud computing. On-demand self-service by consumer, broadcast access via network, resource pooling for physical as well as virtual resource, rapid scaling of capacity, as well as enhance the transparency of uses via matrices. Now next part, that is a type of computer network. Now basically this type is depend upon the size as well as coverage area. So let's see the different categories of its. First one, that is a PANs. PAN is nothing but your personal area network. Next, LANs, that is a local area network. Third one is a MAN, that is a metropolitan area network. After that, a WAN, wide area network. Now we will see each and everything in deeply. First one, that is a PAN. It is a network of communicating devices such as your camera, computer, phones, MP3 players, which is organized around an individual. It is a small network established communication between different devices such as your laptop, mobiles, computer, tabs, anything you can check over here. PAN can be set up using the guided media, that is a USB cable, or unguided media, that is a Bluetooth, infrared, etc. We are going to see this guided as well as unguided media deeply in my next video section. After that, PAN may be include wired as well as wireless devices. Now, what are basically wired and wireless device? That also we will see in my next video section. Now, the reach of PAN is typically extend to 10 meters. So, if you want to cover the 10-meter geographical area, so you can use the PAN network. Next one, that is a LAN, local area network. So this is again smaller, relatively smaller area, or we can say the um, small geographical area it is going to cover. Okay, so you can take the example such as a like a same building, schools. Okay, so that limited area get covered by land. Land is generally privately owned network, so the distance is not more than 5 kilometers. So examples are over here, that is network in the college, campus, schools, hospitals, same buildings you can take. And basically for this LAN, we required the cable wires. Okay, so cable wires are sufficient for LAN network. Even you can go for the Wi-Fi's also. Satellites are also the examples of it, but for LAN, cable wires are sufficient. Now, next one, that is a MAN, metropolitan area network. So, as the name MAN means but larger area it will cover. So, nearby corporate offices or cities and might be either private or public. So cable TV network in the city means, for example, if I sits at the Kula and if I want to communicate person who is at Powai, so with MAN network easily we can communicate. So little bit the range size is a higher, that is 5 to 50 kilometer. It may be as small as the group of building in campus to as large as covering the whole city. Means relatively land it is a larger, okay, and comparatively van it is a smaller. In short, man is covering only metropolitan area, so city to city we can communicate. If we want to communicate person who is abroad, so through man it is not possible. Okay, so that is a difference. Now examples are over here, that is a cable TV network, ATM within the city, college in campus. So these are the examples of MAN. Now we will move towards the WAN. WAN is a larger distance. It is get used, for example, countries. Okay, so of course cable wires are not sufficient. We will use the satellites, Wi-Fi's, undersea connections get used for the WAN. A wide area network is a computer network that covers a large geographical area such as city, countries, span Even interconnectal distance get covered by the WAN, and communication channels that combines the many types such as telephone lines, cables, airwaves get included over here. WAN makes use transmission facility provided by common carriers such as telephone companies. One of the most prominent example of existing WAN is internet. So these all are the different types of the connection. That is, either you can go for PAN, LAN, WAN as well as MAN. So in this chart, there is a comparison of all fours. You can have a glance over here. That is the area coverage, error rates, transmission speed as well as networking cost. Now I will move towards the further. That is a classification of networks. First one, that is a modem. Modem is nothing but modular and demodular. It is a hardware device that allows computer to send and receive the data over the telephone line. When sending the signal, modem converts modulated digital data to an analog signal and transmit over a telephone line. Similarly, when analog signal is received, the modem converts it back to the demodulated to the digital signal. Next one, NIC, that is a network interface card. This is at the top amongst the other networking devices and mostly used networking device. This is also known as network adapter card, Ethernet card, and LAN card. It allows our PC to communicate with other PCs. The PC uses parallel data transmission to transmit the data between the internal part where the media is connected to PC with other device. So over here, basically serial data transmissions get used. Next one is a hub. Hub is an electronic device that connects the several nodes to form a network and redirects the received information to the connected nodes in broadcast mode. Computer for which the information is intended receives the information is accepts it. Other computers on the network simply reject the information. There are basically two types of hub, active as well as passive. When I will say about the passive hub, so this type doesn't amplifies or boost the signal, means it does not manipulate or view the traffic that cross it. When we will say about the active hub, so it amplifies the incoming signal before passing it to other ports. After that, switch is a intelligence hub. It looks exactly like a hub. It has the same function as that of hub to connect the multiple devices in the network. But the difference between two is the way they retransmit the received information. Unlike hub, instead of broadcasting, that is sending each and every device attached to the received information, and within the switch it sends the information selectively only those computers for which it is intended. So this makes a switch more efficient comparatively hub. A switch is an intelligent device that connects several nodes to form a network and redirects the received information only to intended nodes. After that, repitcher, when the data is transmitted over the network for long distance, data signal get weak after certain distance. So this distance depends upon the data transfer range of transmission channels being used and can be from few meters to few kilometers. So if the signal becomes weak, means it cannot reach particular destination. So therefore, some devices is required which can be re-strengthen that data signal before it get too weak. So repeater is a device that is a boosting, वो उसको boost कर देता है. So repeater regenerates the received signal and retransmitted to the destination. So repeater is a device that basically used to regenerate the signal before it could be too weak. So that is about the repeater. Next one is a router. It is a device that forwards the data packets from one network to another by finding the shortest route. Of course, this is based on internal routing table and address of destination network in incoming packets. The router determines whether it to send the packets or to keep within the network. After that, gateway. There are large number of computer networks in the world. As a common example, you can consider your college computer network, ATM network of bank, a big company's network spread over the cities. These all are called as your gateway. So there are thousands of computers which are connected to each other, and they are using the different kinds of hardware as well as software. And why basically they are connected? So that easily one device can communicate with another device. Okay? So over here, simple example, companies X, Y and Z do the business with each other, and therefore they want to interconnect their computer network. Or maybe we will take another example is an internet which connect the large number of different types of network spread over the globe. So different networks are something incompatible with each other. It is like a group of person using a different language of conversation. When two and more network using a different hardware, softwares, which have to be connected. So over here, of course, we required certain device which can be translate one network language into another. So the gateway is a device. So the gateway is a media which is used over there to connect different types of networks. So gateway is capable of understanding the address of architecture which is used different networks and seamlessly translate between these address architecture. In short, gateway is a device which is used to connect different types of networks as well as perform necessary translation so that connected networks can be communicate easily as well as properly. So these all are about your. Thank you students for watching my video. We will meet soon in another video with new topic. Those students who have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. If you think this information is fruitful for you, you can share it and don't forget to comment. Thank you students.